what is going on in Hawaii? I have an update for you. It's June 11th, 2020. My name is Erica from the Hawaii Vacation Guide, and this is an update about what is going on in Hawaii. You may have heard yesterday on June 10th, the governor came out and had a press conference. So for anyone who is hoping to travel to Hawaii in the upcoming weeks, this is not the news you probably want to hear. So the governor signed his 9th emergency proclamation, which extended the 14-day quarantine for out-of-state visitors. So out-of-state visitors and residents who come to the island will still have to abide by the mandatory 14-day quarantine until July 31st, at least. So he extended it to July 31st. I will say, just like with his other proclamations, he left the door open. If they can figure things out earlier, they can end the mandatory quarantine earlier. So there is always a small chance that it won't last until July 31st, but Governor seems to be taking a cautious approach to letting travel open up in Hawaii. So it sounds like some people are really surprised by this approach. Some of the mayors came out and said, especially the mayor of Maui, he came out and said that he was a little taken aback hearing that it was extended to July 31st. I gotta be honest, me too, because everything we've been hearing is that there are new plans in place to try and figure out how to make travel safe. And so I was kind of expecting to hear an update on those, and I think other people were as well. It's, I'm sure really frustrating for business owners out here to not hear a plan. From what I've been reading, hotel managers, they just want to know a date, whether it's, August 1st, September 1st. They just want to know so they can plan. And so I was thinking that there might be a hint to that in the press conference. So unfortunately, there wasn't a hint to kind of where they are in the planning process. But he did mention that they are looking at different plans, and I will let you know what those plans are. But again, I just want to make this clear. The 14-day quarantine is still in place for right now through July 31st, and that is not something you want to mess around with. I would hate to be quarantined here for 14 days. Looking out your window and seeing, everybody out having fun, it would just be hard. And I feel bad for Jordan because he will be coming back to Hawaii and he will have to quarantine. I understand it's for the health and safety of everyone on the island, and he understands that too and will absolutely abide by that, but I will say it's going to be tough, and that is not how I would want to spend my vacation. Alright, so there have been a couple of plans floated around to open up travel, trans-Pacific travel. So the first one is the Travel with Aloha program. And this one sounds like it really has a lot of traction. It's very viable. They've been working on it for over a month, trying to coordinate with the FAA and airlines and understanding what they are allowed to do. So this Travel with Aloha program will require people who are coming to Hawaii to present a negative COVID test within 72 hours of their flight or 72 hours of their arrival in Hawaii. They need to be able to show that they've tested negative for COVID. And if you aren't able to do that, you will be subject to the 14-day quarantine. So this could be a really interesting option for opening up the economy, opening up the tourist economy, I should say, which is a big part of the Hawaiian economy. They are doing this in Alaska, so I think Hawaii is looking to see how it's working in Alaska, how it could potentially work here. Just a reminder, last June, Hawaii was getting over 30,000 visitors a day. So that is a lot of COVID tests for them to figure out how to get through. 30,000 visitors a day. So it sounds like they're just trying to understand how feasible this program is and how they can possibly implement it. The other option that they are looking at is a travel bubble or travel corridors to start opening up tourism. And so that would mean that they would allow certain residents from certain areas to travel to Hawaii without having to do the 14-day quarantine. So they have mentioned Japan, South Korea, New Zealand, Australia, those types of things, those types of countries, potentially being part of this travel bubble. I haven't heard quite as much about that as I have about the Travel with Aloha program. So I don't really know which one is going to end up, being the program that they go with, but those are the two programs that the government has been, very communicative about them working through. So, not great news if you have a vacation planned. It can be frustrating not having a deadline or an end in sight. I totally understand that, and I also understand the need to want to keep the population here safe, because right now we have very few cases of COVID, and I think it's just a tough situation for everyone all around. Hands out. Some good news. Starting on June 16th, the local travel economy is starting to open back up. So what that means is the 14-day mandatory quarantine for inter-island travel is being lifted. So you may not have known, but if we out here, we're on Maui, if we wanted to travel to any other island these past few months, we would have been subject to a 14-day quarantine, just like visitors or residents coming from other areas to the island. So we have not been able to travel in between islands, and they have decided, as phase one of kind of opening up travel, that they're going to open up inter-island travel first. So they are putting in new processes and new procedures in the airport, and these, it sounds like it's a good way for them to test all of these new procedures that they have for opening up travel, because they have said that these new procedures are going to be the ones that kind of stick around when Trans-Pacific travel is open. So these include, I believe, filling out a health questionnaire. You can fill it out online before you get to the airport. Having a temperature screening, so anyone with a temperature above 100.4 will not be allowed to travel. And so just putting those in place. So we'll see how this goes. When Jordan gets back here and is done with his 14-day quarantine, we are excited to travel and see what it looks like, because it will be an indication of kind of what travel will look like for, the next certain amount of time as things start opening up. These will become procedures that they do. These procedures aren't going anywhere, it sounds like, so it'll be interesting to see what it looks like. They've mentioned getting to the airport a little bit earlier to kind of get these things done, so we will definitely be doing that. I get to the airport really early, so I think this will make me get there hours earlier just to make sure we can get through. And then what is going on in Maui and in Hawaii? So things are slowly opening up. So June 5th, dine-in restaurants were allowed to open. I will say we haven't seen a ton open. We have seen more open, which is great because we love going and supporting small businesses when we can. It sounds like a lot of them are waiting to fully open until tourists are welcomed back, but dine-in restaurants are opening. We've seen more open. It looks like people are going out to eat a little bit more. So it's been interesting to see, and it's nice because my cooking isn't great, so we've been treating ourselves to a few takeout orders. Henry, what is that?
Pepperoni. The pepperoni. Pepperoni.
As a reminder, the beaches, the ocean, the water, everything is open, so people have been congregating on the beaches, enjoying, the beautiful summer weather that we have right now. So, we have beautiful weather for most of the year, so, but yeah, we've been seeing a lot more people hit the beaches because a lot of things are closed and the the beach is open. So you're still supposed to maintain social distancing and I believe not sit in groups larger than 10, but you know, people have been out, a lot of people out surfing, snorkeling, just really enjoying the water and enjoying everything out there. Pools are now open, which Henry is thrilled about. So we've been hitting up the pool pretty much daily and that has been so fun. Tennis courts are open, golf courses are open. Of course, each person sits separately in a golf cart. It sounds like more hotels are going to start opening with the Kama'aina economy starting to open. So we'll see, things are slowly starting to open. I think it's, you know, good that all of these businesses like hotels and restaurants are getting to, you know, get a little income and also get their processes in place so that when tourism does open to Trans-Pacific travelers, it won't be such a steep, you know, learning curve to open. So that is your update for what is going on in Hawaii on June 11th. All right, so we will continue to keep you updated. If you like this video and if you want to keep getting updates, make sure you hit subscribe so you will get our videos when they come to you every week. Thanks for watching.